It is Q&A Wednesday! Okay, really, this is only my second time. Oh. Here is the question, and it is Wednesday, which means it is hump day. The question for Q&A Wednesday comes from Dana. She asked, Maggie, I'm curious to find out more what you mean regarding not using prong collars for corrections. I'm certainly aware of pressure and release techniques. Are you talking about not correcting with a leash pop, or do you use other corrections? Point me to the right videos or blog on what you do, please. Just wanted to learn more about your techniques and style. Awesome question, Dana. So here's the deal. And it's kind of ironic because today's Hump Day Dog Show, I had guest, her name is Chris Bach. She's the founder of a dog training technique called the Third Way. She kind of put together a really cool system, foundation, principles and games for dog training, for just kind of like building training. And I've put together a really kind of unique system for leash handling. And the problem is, there's so many components to it when you actually put it all together that if I were just to share like a couple of videos, I'm not really going to give it justice. I've seen what has happened with people like Chris Bach over the years, and at this point in the juncture, I've been really hesitant. Like I teach workshops on leash handling. I work with a lot of professional trainers and like even dog walkers, and I've done staff training for multiple different like pet related businesses. I really love teaching it, but it's such a hands-on thing. There's so many different maneuvers that I break down. It's like understanding the angles of the leash, understanding how to even like approach putting the equipment on, how to handle the leash while you're just introducing things like prong collars, and then using like movements in a cue system to redirect and actually funnel the dog into certain movements with you, but that are all like everything. There's a rhyme and reason for everything. So of course, I don't want to get into all that now, but like you can see, there's a lot of different things that I think about going into leash work. For me, leash work is one of the most complicated things, simply because you're taking two kind of sovereign beings and you're placing them on this weird, unnatural umbilical cord to each other. And you're going to see all kinds of unnatural behaviors and like physiological responses that are happening in between the person's body and the dog's body. And, usually the dynamic is one starts to pull, the other one has a push-pull reflex or opposition reflex, and then the other one has an opposition reflex, and it feeds this one, then it feeds this one, and all of a sudden you've got just like tension all the time. My favorite leash handling technique that I've come up with over the years is kind of like a shock absorber. So it's the idea of an anti, or like an inverted correction almost, where you can very smoothly take the force of the momentum that the dog is about to put on the end of the leash and actually like gradually bring that pressure to a stop, instead of the pressure hitting all at once as the case, as is the case a lot of the times, especially if a dog gets like a hard correction. So I'm very gentle about my handling techniques. And I also have a very specific cue system that I use so that my dogs know in advance when something is about to happen, and they can prepare themselves and then make the adjustment that they need to. So my final thoughts are this: how many of you guys would be interested in me going ahead and like putting together a small series, maybe 1 or 2 videos a week specifically on leash handling, just so that we can start to kind of cover some of that information? Because I know leash handling is one of those, it's a hot topic, and it's also the biggest area where I think a lot of people face a lot of challenges, to be quite honest. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in me extrapolating all this stuff and actually showing you guys some of the breakdown, with the understanding that you've got to stick around through the whole series to really get the holistic idea of how it's all supposed to come together, then let me know. But go ahead and post a comment or whatever down below, and don't forget to give a hand up to the old thumbs up button as well. If you haven't subscribed to my page yet, please do, especially if you're interested in keeping up to date on this whole leash handling series that may or may not happen. I don't know. And the final thing is that you can also look down below and find that I'm going to leave a link for today's Hump Day Dog Show. It's only going to be up for 2 weeks. So listen to it while you can, guys. And that one was pretty awesome. That kind of digs into some of the reason why, you know, I'm always really apprehensive about putting like my actual creative work out there, because when people decide to just like dissect one or two little pieces, nah, all of a sudden you see your life's work unravel, and you'd rather people know like a whole system and actually benefit from it. So that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time. Whoop, whoop. Got that done. It's only 10:45 at night. I'm going to bed. Woo! Did I mention my sister that knitted this? She's legally blind, and she's the total shit. All right, it's bedtime. Night, guys.